that's no good. It's, get rid of those glasses. Yeah, so I've got a lot of suggestions on how to attack my rough running problem that I presented in my previous video, and I was very pleased with the comments I got from people with suggestions on things I could do to try and remedy the rough running problem. So I have looked through that and made a bit of a rough list. The first and easiest one on that list was simply to go and buy some fuel injector cleaner, and I've tipped that into the tank in the appropriate amount, and I've come for a ride. So far I've done about 120 k's, and I'm not noticing a big difference, but it's sort of, I don't want to fall into the trap of trying to imagine differences. It's a beautiful day out there, look at that. Absolutely fantastic. I'm not going to say too much until I've ridden it a bit further, and I realistically need to probably put 2 or 3 tanks through to run through the entire bottle. I don't think it's certainly not worse. Whether it's better, I don't want to say. Perhaps. I stopped to shoot a bit of video on the side of the road and do a flyby shot, and then about 150 motorbikes went past. So I had to sit there for about 3 minutes while all manner of motorbikes went past. And then I sort of followed after the last one, half a k or so back, and then I got to the next intersection to the right. They're all turning right, and there's a guy on the side of the road gesticulating wildly for me to slow down and turn right. And I think he was a little bit hurt when I just went straight past. I tried to indicate that I wasn't part of their ride, but I wasn't quite sure what hand signal I should use. Back. Oh, fans on. That's 319 kilometres and basically a full tank of fuel. I don't think it's made any difference whatsoever. But yes, I think the next stop is going to be pull the injectors out, because it's still not perfect. And that's the goal. Perfection. Has to be. Good morning. Got a bit of a running problem with the VFR. I went for a ride, tried to fix it by putting some fuel cleaner through it. Just don't think it made any difference at all to the way it runs. It's still pretty ordinary. So I rode home on vapors basically. Not quite sure how accurate the fuel gauge is, but I did make it home. And so now the tank is basically empty. I can remove it, I can pull all the bits out, I can get the injectors out. I can either have a look at cleaning them here, or I can send them off to a specialist injector cleaning place. I need to remove this and this. Too dramatic. There we go. I don't think that's ever been off. That appears to be not leaking. Put that there for now. Don't want these leaking everywhere. For a bit of JIS action. So it has a little fence on either side there to prevent the screws from falling down, which is very thoughtful, very Honda. Next step is to get these trumpets out. Now it looks like we've got short ones at the front and tall ones at the back. F for Freddy. For Roger. Such a odd angle, but still good. That's now quite loose. It's going to require the removal of some more hoses. thing about these hoses, they sort of all go back where they came from when you go to put the bike back together. It's got tape around it, which is interesting. This doesn't look factory to me. There we go. That is all fairly free at the back. Quite go far enough. These hoses have all got numbers on them, which is interesting. There you go. Little connector under here. Why is there not some sort of standard for these things? Quite. Oh, there we go. Push that bit. There you go. Well, that was slightly unintuitive. Now I just need to push that. That's that off. Give it a little bit there. There we go. Beautiful. Yes. So the injectors are, I believe, these little brown things in here that you can't really see with the electrical connectors going to them. And to get to those, we need to pull the fuel rail off. There we go, a deep socket. Yep. Surely the clip's not underneath. Why would Honda do that to you? Christ, I've got a few where it's just emptied the fuel rail out, but maybe at least I can see how you get these. Oh yeah, they've put it on the bottom. Well done, Honda. What a tremendous idea. Oh shit, quite a bit of fuel come out there. Okay, what I've done here is I've created a little setup that allows me to activate the injector via this 9-volt battery. I've soldered a couple of wires on there and there. Polarity is unimportant because it's just operating a little coil in here, so you just need to pass current through it. It's not polarity dependent. And if we pop these on here, you will hear a clicking noise, I hope. So the idea is I can activate this while I'm squirting some of this, which is P26 throttle body and carb cleaner, through the injector. It's not fuel injector cleaner, but it is carb cleaner or throttle body cleaner, and that's basically just cleaning off fuel and fuel-based deposits, so I see no difference. Let's have a little go at this and I'll show you the process. Well, that's got good spray ability. Click, click. Gas is on. Click. In. So now we just have to pop the fuel rails back over the top of the injectors like thusly. Click and click. Actually went surprisingly easily. Shit, where did that go? It's gone down into the valley of the doomed. Oh, Christ almighty. Yep. Okay. We've got this one coming up in the middle here somewhere. I've checked all the hoses for vacuum, well, for leaks and obvious cracks, and they all appear to be okay. But there, click on it. That goes up onto the top. That needs to be tightened up a bit. Oink. The screwdriver, unless you. That. Going to be upside down, which means it needs to. Oh shit, that's not good. Come on, let's just make sure it starts. Give that a sec to pump some fuel through. Well, it doesn't really sound any better, but it's stone cold, so. Okay, I've been around the block, and the big block, and I think it's running better. I think it's definitely running better. It pulls much more smoothly between 2 and 5 than it did before, and it's still the same above 5. Not that you can rev it above 5 around here because the speed limit's only 60, so obviously I only went up to 5,000 RPM. So I think it might actually be improved. I don't know if it's 100% fixed, but it's definitely better than it was. And I think maybe that's just the way these things are. I think they are a fairly throbby sort of an engine. And I think maybe I'm trying to fix something that can't be fixed. So the next thing I'm going to try is comparing another VFR. Someone in the comments section has a white one around here in Brisbane, and suggested perhaps at some point we could have a bit of a liaison and sample each other's, VFRs, and then I can find out if that's just the way they are. I'm beginning to suspect that is it, because it feels more like a V-twin, and you don't expect a V-twin to be super smooth down low, and I think this is the same way. Cleaning the injectors, they were definitely dirty. That's definitely improved the way it pulls between 2 and 5. It's much smoother and stronger down low. It's definitely torquier. And when you're sort of revving it, winding it on from about 3,000 and 4,000 at fairly low revs, this would sort of do these ones like it was the whole bike was vibrating. It doesn't do that anymore. And it definitely feels smoother through the bars. And it does seem you can clean your own injectors rather than sending them out to someone and paying $150 or whatever they charge. And that whole process took me 3 hours from start to finish, and I'm not a mechanic and I don't really know what I'm doing, and I had to come up with a whole rig for cleaning the injectors, which took me half an hour faffing around. So the next thing to do is going to be changing out all the fluids, as I don't think the brake fluids or the clutch fluid have been changed. I'll do the coolant. I want to pull this off and clean it. Well, I'll do that while I've got the brakes out and just get rid of that light surface corrosion. I'll clean the corrosion out of that nut as well. Clean the exhaust pipes and get them looking nice and shiny again. Yeah, I mean, they're not bad, but they could be cleaner, and give the whole thing a good clean, and then yeah, just ride it. The other thing that's just dawned on me is perhaps getting rid of this big sort of plastic monstrosity here and putting something slightly sleeker and a bit sexier in that gets rid of all this nonsense and tidies it up and makes it look a bit sharper at the back. But other than that, I'm pretty happy with it. Anyway, I'm hungry, got to go.